On 1st September 2012, the special issue Kenya Gazette Supplement number 93 on 24th August, a body corporate was established.
Tourism Fund is parastatal under the Ministry of Tourism, started way back in 1972 under Hotel and Restaurants Act.
So central in the growth of our country's economy and the achievement of Kenya's Vision 2030.
Tourism now the second earner of revenue for the Kenya government.
The mandate of formerly Catering and Training Development Levy Trustees was expanded and hence the name was changed to Tourism Fund.
The fund is the legal successor to the Catering and Tourism Development Levy Trustees, which had been in existence since 1972 and which operated under the umbrella of the Hotels and Restaurants Act Cap 494 Laws of Kenya. In 2011, through the House of Parliament, it was established. The precursor, senior representatives of the people sat to deliberate on a matter with a national significance and interest. The matter at the center of deliberations was a 2% levy on hospitable services rendered by various establishments in our nation.
The levy order is basically what necessitates the action of the Tourism Act, because you have the legislation that tells you to do ABCD, but then the levy order tells you the how. How do you do it? And when you look at the Act, Section 69 gives the trustees the power to collect the levy that you are collecting from the tourism establishments.
From the new redefined objectives, the new mandate, vision, mission and core values of the Tourism Fund are as follows. Mandate: to mobilize resources to finance the development of a sustainable tourism industry in Kenya. Vision: to be the ultimate source of funding for sustainable development of tourism industry in Kenya. Mission: to diversify resource base for financing development of sustainable tourism industry through innovation, service excellence and stakeholders engagement.
If you go to any restaurant or a hotel and you eat, there is a 2% levy which is currently called the Tourism Fund. Now we collect this money on behalf of the industry and it's a law, part of the law of the Tourism Fund.
When we collect the 2% levy, we give some of the funds to Kenya Tourism Board to market Kenya as a tourism destination. Secondly is training and capacity building.
Tourism Fund is the institution charged with the responsibility of what I love calling mobilizing resources for the development of the tourism industry. In a nutshell, Tourism Fund is the World Bank of the tourism industry.
We have two categories for an institution to qualify to pay levy. Class A is that institution or the enterprise which offers accommodation, whose accommodation and charges, total charges plus breakfast is to the tune of 250 shillings per person. That is Class A. Class B is that enterprise or that establishment whose turnover is over 250,000 per month.
The Tourism Fund or the levy is collected has actually been inbuilt into the billing system, and therefore for every product that is consumed, be it a soda, be it a beer, be it accommodation, every service that a guest consumes in any of the food, any of the accommodation outlets or any tourism related services, a percentage of that levy is actually collected.
This 2% levy charged on customers' bill has gone a long way to support the various growth functions of Kenya's tourism sector.
Tourism Fund is a fundamental part of our budgeting, right? Because they provide up to 20%
of the budget that we use in marketing. And the way they do this is through the levies that they collect. The 2% levies that people pay and ask, where does that money go? It goes back, it is plowed back into ministries, into state parastatals such as the Kenya Tourism Board, in order to then be able to market the country, to then be able to grow the numbers, create employment.
This money is plowed back into industry, primarily for training through Kenya Utalii College, and we are building another college in Mombasa called Ronald Ngala Utalii College, which probably will come into operation next year or the year after.
The tourism sector would never be the same without the support and partnership we receive from the various establishments. The Tourism Fund appreciates the support we continue to receive from the various establishments in the industry, starting with hotels, restaurants, guest houses, supermarkets, apartments, to name but a few of these key industry players.
Tourism Fund has actually worked with the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers, together with other partners, to try and capacity build people who support the tourism sector. And the latest one was in financing and supporting training of taxi operators and tuk-tuk drivers within the two counties of Mombasa.
Despite the fact that this is just an ordinary restaurant, we have been receiving quite some support from them, the tourism levy, because they have been training our staff. We have had our waitresses and waiters trained by them. They have also been coming up with trainings for kitchen staff.
I've related well with the Tourism Fund, and we've walked along that journey. It's been a fruitful mutual relationship, because really we collect the 2% levy on their behalf.
As a result of the partnership with the Tourism Fund, our staffs have gotten the best. That is taking them to the Utalii College, and this, the 2%, is the one which facilitates them when they are there. So we can say we are getting the best product as a result of partnering with the Tourism Fund.
Actually, we've had a great relationship with Tourism Fund. We've been in operation since 2011. I think they went by a different name then. And now, since 2011, we've been remitting our funds. We basically remit 2% of our gross sales to them. And they use it to develop tourism, both within the country and outside of the country.
Let's put it into perspective. This levy, it's only a 2% of the total cost of the customer's expenditure. Take for instance, if you or any other customers enjoy a service like this will be the outcome cost based on this levy.
Let me demonstrate this 2% levy that we are charging for every service that is offered in our establishment. You will see from this bill our small contribution of only 2%, but you can imagine if every hotel and every service was charged 2%, and it is put together and it is channeled back into the country, the Tourism Fund are doing a lot from this, for this country.
The fund, formerly the Catering and Tourism Development Levy Trustees, CTDLT, carries a big responsibility and high expectations from all stakeholders in the tourism sector.
Tourism Fund is critical to our ability to be able to carry out our mandate. We peg that funding to an agreed work plan. So they're clear that this funding that we're giving to our sister parastatal is going towards, say, projects, important projects such as marketing of the tourism product that Kenya has to offer.
But although this is the expectation, it's not always easy to implement the expectations of this act. There are times some industry players don't cooperate or just decide not to pay, hence triggering enforcement of the law envisaged through the act establishing this levy.
Not too many people want to pay taxes voluntarily. So again, you have to go out to people there. You have to use a lot of resources to ensure that people comply.
When you don't pay that levy on time, that is the 10th day of the following month to which that levy relates, there are some penalties. The penalties are 5% instant for every month not paid on time.
Under Section 9 of the Tourism Regulations 2015, we are mandated to enter without a warrant a premise that or an establishment that we think to be doing tourism activities. Now, when we found a place that is not complying with us, then of course we take steps to ensure this place is complying. We do the education part of telling them that this is their requirement.
Should you not pay, that's when legal department comes in. Of course we have sanctions, it's an offense, and of course we go to the courts which have a jurisdiction to hear such matters, and we'll get orders to either ensure that you comply or even get a court sentence.
You realize that tourism industry is very sensitive. Anything small that happens, even outside the country, actually impacts negatively on the industry. For instance, if we have issues of security, which in most of the time will lead to travel advisories, this means that the visitor arrivals will go down and it impacts directly on revenue collection.
Tourism Fund has structured its work through counties and regions which are massive, and its officers come through the establishment in these areas to offer support and guidance to the establishment owners in order to facilitate them to pay the appropriate levies. A branch manager heads each team in the regions. Each region has targets distributed amongst its various team leaders who then work with the officers within their jurisdiction to implement the levy.
We are covering the whole country. We have regional offices. Two of them are based in Nairobi. We have a regional office in Nakuru, which covers Rift Valley, Central and South. We have a regional office in Nyeri, which covers formerly Central Province and Eastern. We have a regional office also in Kisumu, which covers Nyanza, the formerly Nyanza and Western Province, and part of North Rift. And also we have a regional office in Mombasa, which covers Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi, Taita Taveta, Lamu, and Tana River.
I'm the regional manager of Tourism Fund, Central Kenya region, based here in Nyeri. As the regional manager, my role is to ensure that the target that we have been given is achieved. As I said, it's a huge target, and again I said I've got staff that are capable. We have divided Nairobi South into 6 sub-zones, so that at least we can be able to collect our levy more efficiently and effectively.
Regional Manager, Tourism Fund, Rift Valley region, whose offices are based in Nakuru town.
Tourism Fund Kisumu office, which is in charge of Western region.
The Coast region as a whole is one of the crucial parts of the tourism industry in Kenya.
To enable the trust fund to execute its mandate fully and to ensure sustainability of the fund, the Tourism Fund has set out its core objectives as follows. A. To finance the development of tourism products and services. B. To finance the marketing of Kenya as a tourist destination through the Kenya Tourism Board.
Most of the money that we collect goes back to promoting the tourism sector. When we do marketing overseas, more tourists come, more occupancy in hotels.
To finance the activities of the protection service for the tourism industry. D. To finance the tourism research, tourism intelligence and the National Tourism Information Management System. E. To finance the activity of the tourism sector, safety, communication and crisis management center to be established and managed by the ministry.
We've been working closely with the Tourism Fund in terms of our activities to capacity build, to network for the industry, and also to promote investment in hospitality industry.
When the coastal tourism was actually suffering because of the travel advisories that were facing the destination, and because of the involvement of Tourism Fund at the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers Symposium, we were able to get in the foreign envoys, and that led to the lifting of the travel bans.
F. To finance training and capacity development activities of the Kenya Utalii College and of such other tourism hospitality training institutions as may be established under this Act.
We spend over 15 million every March to April for refresher courses, and another similar amount
for management development programs to bring industry people, those who are working in the industry, or to go there and train in their specific. That would not have been possible without the tourism fund.
Tourism fund supported my education at Utalii, and 75% of our staff are coming from Utalii, so you can see the benefit which we enjoy from the tourism fund.
The role that the tourism fund has played, as it does now, it has been a very important role. We have seen, there was a time even Kenya was being quoted in the whole of Africa as the place with the best services in the tourism and hospitality sector, mainly because of Kenya Utalii College at the time.
And last but not least, to mobilize resources to support tourism-related activities.
We've partnered with the tourism organizations in this region, whereby we fund their activities. Normally we fund their annual meetings when they are meeting to deliberate on challenges that are faced in this within the tourism industry. And during those meetings we do attend as well. And we actually gather information that are very important in terms of how do we make Mount Kenya Circuit a better tourism destination.
We are giving up the tourism sector. We are supporting KTB. We are giving money to Kenya Utalii College. We are giving money to the Tourism Protection Service. All this enable the tourism sector to grow, garner more income, and propel us to a medium income economy by 2030.
So I congratulate the Tourism Fund for the good job that they are doing, and I want to assure them that us in the hospitality sector, we are going to do our role as required to see that the vision is achieved.
We are so grateful and humbled by the enormous support that we have gotten, especially through the Tourism Association, our parent ministry, the county governments, and for all of them we say a big thank you.
If you are not a levy payer now, please do. And those who are paying, thank you very much. Continue. Your money is going to a good cause.
The Tourism Fund and the tourism sector at large looks up to the industry players, established owners, local and or foreign, for their continued support in order to grow the sector and the national GDP. All this is made possible by the Tourism Fund. Please join in, register today and facilitate the timely remittance of the 2% levy. Avoid the push to compliance. Let's do this for the greater good of our nation and the economy, and for the future good of our sons and daughters. For more information, please visit our regional offices at the head office Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru and Nyeri, or log on to www.tourismfund.co.ke. Tourism Fund, propelling Kenyan tourism.